Hello YouTube world. Today, Cinema Makeup School announced the official due date for our next level of cosplay competition pieces. With that being said, I thought that now would be a good time to talk to you guys a little bit about my adventure toward trying to get a scholarship and why I want the scholarship and how I discovered makeup, or special effects makeup specifically. So when I was in school, all I knew is that I wanted to be artistic. I knew there's an art school in the area I really wanted to go to, but it was really expensive, and I was already out on my own by my senior year of high school, so I knew that it was not going to be an option for me to go to a school that was going to be $40,000 a year. It had the most amazing interactive art program, and it was everything I ever dreamed of, and it was so incredibly out of reach. I was working at Walmart, making minimum wage, driving a little Saturn that I had to take into the shop every other week, and living in a trailer park in a room that wasn't even insulated. It was just plywood. Like, that's where I was at that time. So I ended up getting a job at McDonald's and working at McDonald's from 6 a.m. until noon, and then working at Walmart from 1 in the afternoon until 10 o'clock at night. And if you ask why I took those jobs, it's because I live in a super small town. That's pretty much all that's available. Like, I spent a good chunk of my high school years working at a craft store that paid me $5.90 an hour, which isn't even legal minimum wage, but welcome to small town Wisconsin. So I decided I was going to save up and go to beauty school. I'm not sure why I decided to go to beauty school, but I decided I was going to go to beauty school. I, for a short period of time, pursued a modeling and acting career, but after being told I was fat by 2 different agencies when I was 5'9" and 120 pounds, I decided to stop pursuing that less, though I still did it as kind of a hobby. So that kind of leads into how I found special effects makeup. So my boyfriend at the time, who also worked at Walmart, but at a different store than I did, he found a friend, or made a friend, that was a director that was directing a zombie film. So I went down south to work on this zombie film, and they were kind of shorthanded for makeup. So I met these 2 fabulous women that were doing all this crazy zombie makeup, and I was like, well, if you're shorthanded, like, I can do that. They're like, have you done it before? I'm like, not really, but like, I can do it. I can totally do it. So that was my first time doing zombie makeup. I just picked up some brushes and some stuff that they had there, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna help out with this. I'm gonna do makeup. I mean, I'm going to beauty school, right? I can do makeup, which is hilarious because the beauty school I went to taught us pretty much zero about makeup. They were like, here's how you do a simple eye makeup. I literally used nothing that my beauty school taught me about makeup for makeup at all. They didn't teach us how to match foundations. They didn't teach us how to do anything. Oh, I lie. I have one mascara trick that a teacher taught me that wasn't part of the curriculum that I still use to this day. That's it. So I finished beauty school and I started working in a salon. On top of just being really bored doing the same kind of trends and not getting to do all the crazy awesome stuff that I got to do in beauty school when we did these huge runways, I also was not making very good money, and the schedules were very, very unflexible. I worked on commission for a while, which was great on the weekends. I'd make awesome money on the weekends, but I also had to work during the week, and I was walking out during the week with maybe $10, $20 in my back pocket, working 5-6 hours a night. And then on the weekends, I'd work 12-hour shifts and make like $200, which was, I mean, nice, but I'm also working 12 hours, almost 45 minutes from home, and it was, you know, you had to buy all your own tools. It was hard. And then I switched to a big chain, thinking I could make maybe a little bit better living there, and right around that time is when I started looking at FX schools too, being like, hey, what if I just did that zombie movie thing all the time? So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go work for a chain and make more money. And that was kind of a joke too. Like, they paid you $8.50 an hour. I'm like, they're like, but you make tips. I'm like, yeah, the whole $20 in tips that I might make, it just wasn't worth it. Like, the kids flipping burgers at McDonald's ended up making more than I did, and it just wasn't worth my time, and it just wasn't what I was passionate about, you know? Like, I ended up deciding to go look at the school that was in Fort Lauderdale that one of the girls that was on that zombie film that I was talking about earlier, one of the girls that was on that film set went to the school, and I was like, I'm gonna check out this school. So I went to go check out that school, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna go here. Awesome. This is where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna save up. It was an $8,000 program. And they were like, yeah, we're gonna give FAFSA financial aid, this, that, and that. Cool. So I kept calling their FAFSA financial aid office, trying to, like, figure that stuff out, and they kept being like, oh, I don't know, call us back another time. Oh, I don't know. You know, and there was just nobody ever in the office for me to talk to, and I started to get really freaking agitated because I was working at a bar and at a restaurant, working 7 days a week, busting my butt to save up money to go to this school, and it's like they just didn't care. And to me, that spoke volumes about the school. Like, if you can't even call somebody back who's like, yeah, you know what, I've got cash in hand to pay you for these classes, and they couldn't call me back, I put money down, and I lost a big portion of that deposit. Right around that time, I got in a really nasty relationship that ended up just destroying my finances. I had to go to court to fight to get any of my belongings back. I ended up in the hospital because of this relationship. I have medical bills now that are still overlapping from that. So much cost in so many things, and the stress ended up giving me like stress sickness, basically. My stomach lining was inflaming. It was hard for me to eat. I started losing time at work, and I started losing my savings. I had to get a restraining order against the person I was with. I felt like I lost everything. But right before all of that ended, I had saved up just enough money to go and tour cinema makeup school out in LA. And it was everything I wanted. It was an attentive staff. It was a full program. It was everything I could have wanted and more. And it was one of the only things that kept me going when I had to go through all the rough stuff. When I left that relationship, I said no more playing games. I told myself that I was going to take myself and my career seriously, and that I was going to make this happen. So as I was going through my court battles and my hospital time and all my other BS, I managed to put in my first scholarship entry for the venial scholarship and lost that. I then applied for the Cinema Makeup School Next Level of Cosplay competition with Beauty and the Beast and only made about 7th place and lost that. And then I went and applied for the Rick Baker Creature Creation Scholarship and I lost that. And then I applied for the venial scholarship again, this time creating an entire series of fantasy creatures, all of my own imagination, and made all of their costumes. I spent all summer working on it with a group of really, really awesome local models and actors and actresses, and a really, really talented photographer named Erin, who runs a page called Artistry of E. Feel free to check it out. She's awesome. And I lost that one too, and now we're back to Next Level of Cosplay, and to goddamn if I don't just keep chugging trying to make this happen. Right now, I work at a bar, and I spend every other minute of my time trying to build my career as a creative. I take work as a makeup artist for weddings and things of that variety, and every once in a while I go back to, you know, the salon to take makeup in the salon, but pretty much every single penny of anything I make off of makeup ends up going back into makeup. It's collaborating with other artists and tons and tons of drive time and just I spend every minute of every day just hustling and hustling and hustling and hustling and trying to get it all together and trying to save, and it's now been 3 years since I started my first attempt at getting into any kind of special effects school, and if I haven't given up after 3 years, you ain't getting rid of me yet. So here I am, still stuck in small town Wisconsin, hoping that something gives way, and sooner or later all these hours and hours and hours and hours of practice and time and commitment and determination and the pennies I've pinched and the tears that I've cried will eventually pay off. I'm going to try and give myself a little kickstart by calling cinema today to sign up for a crash course class, because I have saved enough money to do that. And that would be in March. And I'm trying to arrange to get a new vehicle, a van, and I'm just going to live in the van for a week. I'm gonna throw a mattress in the back, and I'm gonna eat ramen. I'm gonna try and make this 1 week course happen in March, if it's still free. And from there, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep trying and looking like this disheveled bedhead mess that I am, because I legitimately just woke up. Like, you guys are seeing me pretty much fresh out of bed with my favorite cat pillow. So sooner or later this is gonna work, right? Like, I feel like it has to.